Hello Logic language learners and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, you know me, I'm always a normally happy person. Today's video is about two verbs in French, or two ideas in French, which can be created in different ways, and this is what we're looking at. And they are the idea about being worried and the idea about being depressed. So obviously a really happy morning today. It's a totally blue sky. So not perhaps the best day for it. Anyway, these are useful expressions in French because things worry us and things depress us. Okay, so we will start with depress. Okay, so your basic word for depressed, okay, is a verb, which is déprimer. So let's look at that verb. So where am I going to be here? Let's make it a bigger pen. Yeah. Déprimé. Déprimé. Okay, now the reason this is going to cause problems is because there are effectively three ways you can use this verb. So in English we just say I'm depressed, or maybe that depresses me. Okay, and in French we have a third way. So the first thing is, as you know, if we're going into an adjective with a verb in French, we're using the past to create an adjective. So that's basically this idea that if you have ed on a word in English, so for example, tire, tired, excite, excited, okay, that you're ultimately using the past. So for example, I excited my friends when with stories of my adventures, whatever. I am excited. That's a passive idea. Something else is exciting you, but you're now using it as a verb. So you're saying, I am excited. The thing that's actually exciting you is not you. You're not exciting yourself. I am depressed is from the verb to depress. Something else is depressing you. So in English we use this method of using an adjective, depressed, excited, and the adjective actually comes from the past tense of the verb. Okay, so that's quite common. So when we do the same thing in French, we have ed a lot of the time. In English, we're just going to have e with the acute a in French. Because if you think about it, if we had a verb, let's say we had manger, the past would be j'ai mangé, yeah, M-A-N-G-E, like this, wouldn't it? M-A-N-G-E with the acute, okay? So if you had déprimé, depressed, would be déprimé. So I am depressed would have an accent on it like that. Je suis déprimé. Notice there's an e. Notice there's an e. Je suis déprimé. I am depressed. So there you have I am depressed. Je suis déprimé. Okay? Obviously you could have an extra e on the end if you were a girl, or you could have an extra s if you were plural. So the word is déprimé, je suis déprimé. But things go on a journey from there. So that would be method one. Method two would be to say, like in English, oh, that depresses me. Yeah, or, it's depressing, I suppose we could use as well. So let's look at that depresses me. So whatever it's going to be, that or the situation, so you're going to say your first word, la situation, or ça. So we'll put in our ça. Can I remind you that on ça we have the cedilla on the C, okay? We have a little accent on the C because an A in French doesn't work very well with a C. If we had ce as in this, we would just have plain C-E. We won't have any accents on the C because an E is good enough with the C. So if I said that depresses me, so ça me, I'm now going to take the core of my verb déprimer. So déprimer, the core would be déprime. Manger, mange, danser, danse, déprimer, déprime. So that depresses me, ça me déprime. So that's pretty much saying the same thing. You're just saying that something specifically is depressing you. So, oh, I'm depressed, je suis déprimé. Whatever, the situation depresses me, la situation me déprime. Or ça me déprime, whatever, okay? If we were to go in the past with that depressed me, then obviously all the normal rules apply. So that depressed me as an action. If it's an action, I need have. So ça m'a déprimé, I'd have M'. that was depressing me. Yeah, that this thing was depressing me. Ça me déprimait. One second, we'd have the spelling of the imperfect. Ça me déprimait, A-I-T. Okay. I've got the camera the different way around today. I can't find I can't find the angle of it. Good. So the next one that we'd have would be, let's put number 4 up here. Would be like in English, would be it's depressing. It's depressing. Now the ing is a form of the verb that we don't use very often in French compared to English. We use it for adjectives. It's depressing, it's exciting, it's motivating, but we don't use it with common speech. Continuous speech. So for example, I am talking, I am standing. We use the ing tense in the gerund, the continuous. We use this in English. Now, as you know, you can't do that in French. I am talking is just je vais. Je parle. I am going is je vais. We cannot use the ing, but we can use the ing, as I've said in other videos, for adjectives. And if ed was a in French, ing, ing, becomes ant. So ing, let's put that here, ing becomes ant. So excite, so to motivate, motiver, motivating, motivant. Okay, motivant, ant. And a really good way of remembering this is that with the exception of verbs have, know and be, so savoir, être, and avoir, where we say sachant, étant, ayant, most other verbs will use what sounds like the nous form for the ing. So for example, we eat, nous mangeons, we're eating, mangeons, ant instead of ons. We motivate, nous motivons, motivating, motivant, because ant sounds like ons. Okay, sounds like ons. So if I wanted to use this, I'm going to use this in 2 situations in French. I'm going to use it when I'm saying in motivating whatever the children, or in motivating my students, I got a lot of pleasure, whatever. It's quite a formal level of language, but you can use it. So en, motivant, whatever. In speaking with Luc, en parlant avec Luc. So it's kind of, a slightly more formalised way of speaking. Having spoken with Luc, ayant, we'd use the special one for have. But the main time that we're going to see this in French, which you guys are going to use regularly, is when we use it as an adjective. So motivating, depressing, exciting, tiring. So verb fatigué, tiring, fatigant, ant. Verb déprimer, depressing, déprimant. So our fourth one would be, let's put it up here, it's depressing. C'est déprimant. Okay, c'est déprimant. So when we're saying it's depressing, we're obviously using the verb to be. We could change this tense. It was depressing. Oh, c'était déprimant. It will be depressing. Fine, anything could happen. Okay. Our final version, and this is the version which doesn't really match with English. This is the version that I'd really like you to take home with you. Is the idea that you have got the verb déprimer and you can use it on its own. So in English, it's very much active. It's sort of saying, I depress something else. So he depresses me, il me déprime, whatever, I am depressed by something else. But in French, déprimer can be to be depressed. Yeah, it can be to be depressed. So I'm depressed could just be je déprime. And when you first hear this, I'm sure many of you will think, well, you're depressing what? But I'm depressed is just je déprime, as well as je suis déprimé. So the final one, we'll put number 4. What are we doing? We got 4, so we've got 1, 2, and 3, 5. C'est je déprime. Je déprime. D-E-R-P-R-I-M-E. So let's run through them. I am depressed. Je suis déprimé. Yeah? I'm depressed. Number 2. That depresses me. ça me déprime, il me déprime, elle me déprime, quelque chose me déprime. Okay? Number 3, it's, where did we go? How come we've ended up number 5? It's depressing, c'est déprimant. Okay, I think we've ended up with 5 instead of 4. It's depressing. So my knowledge of numbers is depressing. So it's depressing, c'est déprimant, or je déprime. So today it's raining. Aujourd'hui il pleut, which is not the case. It's beautiful. I'm depressed. Je déprime. I'm depressed. Je suis déprimé. That depresses me. Ça me déprime. It's depressing. C'est déprimant. Okay, so I hope those 4 versions. It's 4. I don't know where 5 came from. It's 4 versions. So what can we take from this exercise? We can look at verbs in a different way. There's a lot of verbs that you can do this with. So I'm tired. Je suis fatigué. Accent E. Yeah. E there. It's, the thing is tiring for me. C'est fatigant. A-N-T for the ing. That tires me. Ça me fatigue. Yeah, okay, you can even use je fatigue in a kind of like I'm getting tired and stuff, but basically some of them are more common than others, but the idea is thinking in your sentence, how can I turn these around, okay? So this is part 1 of a video. Part 2 will be up just next to this, which is dealing with worry, okay? So you're probably very worried about my, my knowledge of numbers. So to finish off, I'm depressed, je suis déprimé. That depresses me, ça me déprime. It's depressing, c'est déprimant. Or I'm depressed, je déprime as well. Okay? I shall see you in part 2 where we talk about worry. Okay? If you've enjoyed this video, please do click like, please subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed, and I hope you're not depressed. It's a very serious issue, and by all means contact those around you if you are. Okay? Take care.